America, we got to get back to doing what's expected of us as free citizens in this democracy. That means being tolerant, being respectful, staying informed, and being engaged. I'm former Congressman Joe Walsh. Follow me here and join the millions of Americans who are renewing their social contract with each other. The social contract, it's on us. Hey, look, Monday, it's never been complicated. My former political party is full on anti-democracy, anti-rule of law. If you believe that, and Lord knows I believe it, my God, the hellish journey, political journey I've been on, leaving my former political party, 6, 7 years ago, being an independent for 5, 6 years, and then coming out 8, 9 weeks ago and joining the Democratic Party. I did all of that. I've made this journey because we've got two political parties in this country. And one of our two major political parties in this country has given up on democracy, no longer believes in the rule of law, doesn't give shit about pluralism. And you know what? They could care less about simply basic human decency. Now, if you believe that, and I do, and I say it every day, right? We say it every day. The Republican Party is anti-democracy. They are a threat to democracy. They're an existential threat to democracy. Man, I'm sure there are plenty of people who say that who really don't mean that. I'm sure there are plenty of Democrats who say that and really don't mean it. I'll tell you this, though. This guy who's been a Democrat for 8 to 9 weeks, I believe it in my bones that my former political party is an absolute threat to democracy and the rule of law. If you believe that, you have to fight back. You got to fight back. And when they kick you in the shins, you got to kick them in the shins even harder. And when they bring a knife to a knife fight, you got to bring a bigger knife to that knife fight. You've got to fight back. Democrats, you have to fight back. I do not give a damn about public policy right now. I believe my democracy is hanging by a thread. So wherever Republicans engage in cheating, wherever they attack democracy, wherever they ignore the rule of law, wherever they exhibit abject cruelty, man, we are there and we fight back. And if you're not willing to do that, my new political party, my fellow Democrats, then do me a favor. Step aside right now. Step aside. Because there are plenty of us at all sorts of ages who are not done fighting back. And I come to you this Monday morning, TikTok. Hello, TikTok. We've got Texas Democrats fighting back, and Texas Democrats need our help. They need our support. We need to have their backs. Texas Democrats right now, as of this past weekend, are demonstrating. They're walking the walk. Not only are they talking the talk, they're walking the walk. They're fighting back. They've left the state. Texas Democrats have fled the state of Texas to deny Republicans in the state of Texas the ability to pass an undemocratic redistricting bill in a special session that will give Republicans in Texas 5 to 6 extra congressional seats. They got to vote on it. And even though Republicans in Texas run the House and they run the Senate and they got a Republican in the governor's mansion, they need a quorum. They need Texas Democrats there to bring this undemocratic cheating bill up for a vote. We talk all the time about what can we do, Joe? You say all the time, Joe, fight back, fight back. What does that mean? Right before your eyes right now, everybody, Texas Democrats are giving you and me and everybody else an example of what that means. Texas Republicans are cheating. They're engaged in this mid-decade redistricting. And for all of you who are just not quite aware, listen up, MAGA. My MAGA brothers and sisters, I'm talking to you right now. Every 10 years, we redistrict. Every 10 years, we got that census. And based on that census in every state, we draw new federal districts and new state districts. In way too many states, whichever party is in charge of that state, they gerrymander. Republicans gerrymander in a lot more places than Democrats do, but Democrats gerrymander too. But here's the point. We do it, it's cheating, but we do it, it's bad. Gerrymandering sucks, but we do it every 10 years. We do it with the census every 10 years. Texas Republicans said, screw that. I ain't going to wait till 2030. We're in trouble next year in Congress, keeping control of Congress. So Greg Abbott, the Texas governor, and the Republicans said, we're going to do something really unprecedented. We're going to take cheating to a whole new undemocratic level. We're going to engage in mid-decade redistricting. We're going to redistrict, gerrymander before we even get to 2030. They're cheating. It's undemocratic. But here's the point. They don't care. Here's the point, and this is what I've been screaming from the mountaintop to my fellow Democrats ever since I've been a Democrat. Republicans will do anything to win. Follow me. I'm going to say that again slowly. Republicans will do anything to win. When I was a Republican, hell yeah, that was me. When I was a Republican, we Republicans would talk about how we knew we would do anything to win politically, and we knew Democrats wouldn't. We laughed at Democrats because we knew Democrats would not do whatever it takes to win, to fight back. Democrats are beginning to get it. Because Republicans down in Texas have this whole cheating bill, redistricting bill all teed up, all ready to go. And in fact, it's ready for a vote right now. But over the weekend, Texas Democrats said, we're not going to give them that vote, that ability to have that vote. We're going to leave the state so that they do not have a quorum to even call the bill for a vote. So Texas Democrats have left. They've gone to Massachusetts. They've gone to New York. They've gone to Illinois. Show me that headline, Keith. My home state, Illinois. Governor Pritzker said, come on, Texas Democrats. We'll put you up. We'll take care of you. We'll feed you. We'll hold you. We'll keep you out of Texas for as long as it takes. Fighting back. Texas Democrats fighting back. You asked Democratic voters, you asked your Democrats to fight. Well, down in Texas, they are. They've fled the state. By the way, at a cost. Leaving the state, Texas Democrats, Texas state House members and state senators leaving the state of Texas, physically leaving, going to New York, Massachusetts, Illinois, to deny a quorum, enough people present to even have a vote. This is costing them. It's costing each legislator $500 a day. That's the penalty for leaving the state during session. Abbott called a special session to get his undemocratic cheating bill passed. So every Democrat that's fled Texas, it's costing them $500 a day. That's the state penalty they have to pay. They got to put themselves up. They got to feed themselves. And oh, by the way, they're putting themselves at risk of being arrested. They're eligible to be arrested. They've fled the state during a legislative session. And Texas's Attorney General, wingnut, Ken Paxton, came out yesterday and said, we're going to arrest him. We're going to hunt him down and arrest him. So again, this Monday morning, you asked for it, I asked for it, it's here. We wanted, we prayed, we pleaded for our Democratic legislators, elected leaders, wherever they are, fight back, fight back, fight back. Do you remember that? From the day Trump was sworn in 6.5, almost 7 months ago, we pleaded with Democrats, fight back, fight back, fight back. Trump and Musk and Trump and these Republicans, they are trampling democracy. They are enacting long-term damage on the institutions of this country. They're giving the middle finger to the rule of law every day. Democrats, do something. Democrats, do something. We all screamed. And we've all screamed now for almost 7 months. Well, I come before you with good news. At least down in Texas, Texas Democrats are doing something. At great risk, at great financial cost, at great inconvenience, a whole bunch of Texas Democrats left the state of Texas to deny Abbott and the Republicans down there the ability to even bring this cheating bill up for a vote. So the message is simple, because we want to see this now everywhere. We want to see this in every town, in every county, in every state in the country where Republicans engage in undemocratic, anti-democracy, criminal, corrupt behavior. We want to see Democrats rise up all across the country. Well, if they do, we need to support them. We're asking them to rise up. Texas Democrats heard our pleas and they're fighting back. They can be arrested today. Texas Democrats hiding out in Illinois, New York, Massachusetts, they can be arrested today. We need to show them some love. We need to show them some support. We need to buck them up. This has happened before. I think it was 2003. Texas Democrats did this when Republicans tried to engage in this mid-decade redistricting again. Texas Democrats fled. They're going to probably need to stay out of Texas for quite some time. And that's not going to be easy. So we need to support them. We need to support them financially. We need to support them spiritually. We need to spread the word. We need to defend them. I need you to follow this story and Google this story, because there are organizations springing up out there trying to raise some money to support these Texas Democrats. Again, just the fine that they're paying is $500 a day to be gone. And on top of that, they got to live, they got to eat, they got to sleep. Pritzker in Illinois, I believe, is setting up. And by the way, what a great thing. Democrats in other states, elected Democrats in other states, joining in, supporting their fellow Democratic friends from Texas. Pritzker, I know, is setting up some vehicles where just average folks can help support these Texas Democrats. And as we get a hold of this information, we'll put it out on my Substack where you can support these Democrats. Look, this is just the beginning. We're going to get lone Democrats fighting back. We're going to get groups of Democrats fighting back. We're going to get entire Democratic state legislators fighting back, legislatures fighting back. It's what we've asked for. It's what we've wanted. Okay, well, fair's fair. Now we have to support them. Wherever a Democrat fights back in this country, Wherever a Democrat in this country stands up and defends democracy, defends the rule of law, man, he or she demands your support. Demands your support. Because I've heard you're bitching and moaning, just like I've been bitching and moaning. Come on, Democrats, get a spine. Come on, Democrats, get some balls. Come on, Democrats, get some fight. All good stuff. And we got to keep that up, by the way. All of the rest of us got to keep a boot up the ass of our Democratic elected officials. Keep that boot up their backsides. But when they fight and when they walk the walk, they deserve our praise and our support. Follow this story now. Texas Democrats have left the state to deny Texas Republicans the ability to engage in just ugly, undemocratic cheating. Support them. These Texas Dems. Support them. Hey, one Trump thing that I just couldn't pass up this Monday. I will say this until I'm blue in the face. I say this as a former Trump supporter. I say this as someone who comes from MAGA. MAGA, I'm looking at you. MAGA, I'm talking to you. MAGA, I'm feeling with you. But MAGA, this is tough love, and I got to give you tough love, MAGA. Donald Trump thinks you are so fucking stupid. MAGA, hear me, hear me. I know it seems like I say that every day, MAGA, but I say it almost every day. Donald Trump thinks you are stupid. MAGA, Trump thinks you are stupid. MAGA, Trump thinks you will believe whatever he says. MAGA, pay attention. He thinks you'll believe whatever he says. He thinks he can lie to you about anything big and small, and you'll buy it, hook, line, and sinker, because Trump, MAGA, thinks you are dumbasses. He thinks you're stupid. He thinks you're gullible. He thinks you're naive. He thinks you're idiots, which is why, MAGA, Trump lies to you, MAGA, every time he opens his mouth. Did you hear, MAGA, his whopper just last night? Keith, do we have that? Something about drug prices. Do we have that?
What happens?
Mr. President, what advice do you have for Republicans on Capitol Hill heading into midterms? What do they need to do? What can they do to, hold?
Well, one of the things they're going to be talking about pretty soon are the tremendous drop in drug prices. We've cut drug prices by 1,200, 1,300, 1,400, 1,500%. I don't mean 50%. I mean 1,400, 1,500%. Because we're going favored nations. We want the same price as Europe gets.
Keith. Stop, Keith. Thank you, Keith. Thank you, my friend. MAGA and everybody listening, Donald Trump last night claimed he's cut drug prices by, I want to make sure I have that right, 1,500%. I'm going to say that super, super slowly. You heard him. MAGA, you heard him. That wasn't me putting words in his mouth. That wasn't MSNBC or CNN, some talkadoodle there putting words in his mouth. You heard what Trump said. We've cut drug prices 1,500%. Yep, 1,500%. Trump claimed to have cut drug prices. Now, I ask you, my MAGA brothers and sisters, who I love and I respect, because I will never lie to you, my MAGA brothers and sisters. I will never lie to you. Explain to me, somebody, can somebody here in the chat, MAGA, explain to me how it is even possible to cut drug prices by 1,500%. I was an English major in college, never super adept at math. But if I'm going in and I'm paying $100 for some drugs at my local CVS and I'm getting a 1,500% savings, does that's like the drug company is paying me back something like $2,800? How is it even possible, MAGA, to cut drug prices, to cut anything by more than 100%? 1,500%. Now, Trump lies as he breathes, MAGA. Even for Trump, this is like a pretty astounding lie because he's lying about something that ain't even possible. And MAGA, I know you know this. I know you know this, MAGA. You know you can't cut the price of something by 1,500%. Trump, by the way, did this with eggs a couple months ago. He said we've decreased the price of eggs by like 400%, meaning like you went in and bought a carton of eggs and the store paid you for the eggs. Here's the point, though, MAGA. He says shit like this because he thinks you're stupid. Is there anybody in my chat room, MAGA, right now that will defend this lie? I suppose I can ask, is there any MAGA brother and sister right now listening to me right now? I see you, who believes this lie. And if you believe the lie, just explain to me how it's possible. He's lying. It's a stupid lie. All he had to do was lie and say we've decreased drug prices by 70%. That's a lie, but that's a lie that is at least possible. It's a lie. But to say you've cut the price of something by 1,500%, that is impossible. So MAGA, and I love it, everybody else, like all my MAGA listeners right now are getting mad at me. Well, all I did, don't you shoot the messenger. I just played for you what Trump said. Don't get mad at me, Mary Lou. Don't get mad at me. The point is this. The point remains the same. And you know this holds in life in general. If somebody lies to you all the time, they don't like you. If somebody lies to you all the time, they surely don't respect you. If a spouse or a good friend or a coworker or a boss or a relative or a guy down the street lies to you every single day, they really don't respect you. They think you're an idiot. And I know you, MAGA, you wouldn't be married to somebody who lied to you like this. You wouldn't work for somebody who lied to you like this. You wouldn't be best friends with somebody who lied to you like this. He thinks you're so stupid, MAGA. And it makes me sad because you're not. And when I post stuff like this, and when I go on TV, like when I go on CNN or MSNBC, and I say this, and I talk about this, and I say Donald Trump thinks his supporters are really, really stupid, typically people on the left will say to me, Joe, they are. Hey, Joe, Trump's voters are stupid. Hey, Joe, Trump's right about that. And I say, fuck no, stop that. Hell no. Hell no. Trump's voters are not stupid. Trump's supporters are not stupid. They're good people who've been fooled, deceived, and lied to. Yeah, they're responsible for their own lives, and they're responsible for the lies they believe. But these are not stupid people. I do not think MAGA people are stupid. And I say that to every Democrat who tells me they are. But don't you, MAGA, get mad at Democrats on MSNBC for saying you're stupid, because they're agreeing with Trump. Or let me rephrase that, MAGA. If you're going to get mad at Democrats who tell me you're stupid, well, then you've got to get mad at Trump too, MAGA, because he thinks you're stupid. The answer? You know what the answer is. The answer is what it always is. Don't believe Trump's lies. When he lies, call him out. Doesn't mean you don't have to support him, MAGA. But when he says, I've cut drug prices by 1,500%, MAGA, when he says that, say, stop. Mr. President, that's a lie. It's impossible to cut drug prices by 1,500%. Stop lying, Mr. President. You can say that, MAGA, and still support him. But I want you to get to that place, MAGA, where you can be a Trump supporter and still call him out on his lies. Final thought this Monday. And I'm going to get into this a lot more later. There's so much we don't talk about. I did a show earlier this morning, great host. It was a Substack Live, and we bemoaned the fact that we don't talk about policy much anymore. There's so much important policy. There's so many things going on in this country and around the world that we don't talk about because we spend all of our time every day talking about Trump, talking about this war, trying to save democracy. There's so much we don't talk about. I'm as guilty about that as anyone and everyone. AI. We're not talking about AI. AI is changing this world by the minute. We could be at a point in this country where within 5 years, there are millions and millions of middle-class people in this country who lose their jobs to AI, and there are no jobs that they can go to. What does a free society do with that? If there are millions and millions of Americans who've lost their jobs because of AI, and there are no jobs for them to go to, no jobs to replace the jobs they've lost. In all of these revolutions, right, from farming to the industrial revolution to the technological revolution and on and on and on. I'm a marketplace guy. I believe in the market. The market's always created. We lose sectors, we lose industries, but the market works and we gain jobs, we gain industries, other things spring up, sprout up. This AI thing could be really, really different. There may not be jobs for middle-class people springing up the moment people lose their jobs to AI. And what does a country do then? What does a society do then? Do we just pay these people to stay at home? These good folk? If there are no jobs for them to go to? How do we train them to do what? These are big, profound questions, big issues that I would argue our country is not talking about. I went to London for a family wedding a month ago, talked to some politicians in London. They said the same thing. Their government over there is not talking about this looming AI tsunami coming. My point's just this, and I'm going to get into this whole AI thing a lot more. We're going to get into it on our Substack a whole lot more. This is just one issue. One really important issue, public policy issue, impacting real lives that we as a country and a society are not talking about, because every freaking day it's all this shit that Donald Trump has done. I told you after Trump won, I was not going to spend 4 years bitching and moaning about Trump. I'm not. I'm going to make a better effort talking about some of these other issues. Hey, go to my Substack. Everything I talk about is on my Substack, socialcontractwithjoewalsh.substack.com. Subscribe. You don't have to be a paid subscriber. Everything I do, think, and write and say is right there on my Substack. socialcontractwithjoewalsh.substack.com. Go there, be a paid or an unpaid subscriber. I hope your week is off to a really, really good start. If you've got anything you want to say to me, good, bad, or ugly, fire me off an email. Thanks, Keith. The Social Contract with Joe Walsh at gmail.com. That's all one word. The Social Contract with Joe Walsh at gmail.com. Love you all. Have a great Monday. Be brave.
Thank you for listening. Remember to listen, share, and follow The Social Contract with Joe Walsh on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and everywhere great podcasts are found. And be sure to leave a 5-star review. This has been The Social Contract with Joe Walsh.